There is a way to specifically farm those 800 plus item power items, which are very important if you're trying to push content. You're going to want to find as many of these 800 plus items as you can. And when you're farming Nightmare Dungeons or whatever, and there's hundreds of rares dropping, sometimes it's hard. Make sure you're picking up all of those 800 plus items. So this is a method I want you to know about with you and your friends group to get together and be able to target farm as many 800 plus items as possible, guaranteed. That way there's less sifting, and it's definitely a farming method you're going to want to take advantage of. Now you can do this solo, so it's not like it requires a group, but it does take a little bit of crafting materials to unlock this mechanic, so it's something you probably want to like save up as a group ideally, and then group up and farm them together with the resources you've pooled. But if you're a solo only player, absolutely you can do this, no problem. So first up, in order to target farm these 800 plus rare items, you're going to want to come down to the crafting bench here, Corman's workbench. This is the season 1 mechanic around the malignant hearts and the invokers and all of the mechanics wrapped up within that. So in order to do this, you are going to need to finish that seasonal quest line, which is going to take it takes about 30 minutes to 60 minutes depending on how fast you're blasting through the content. But you go through, you do a few quests, you go down into that burial chamber or whatever, and then you fight Varshan, and you have completed the seasonal quest line for the invoker of Varshan. And then what you're going to need to do is craft the invoker of Varshan. You're going to need to take him down in world tier 3 or 4, I believe, and then you will unlock these tormented invokers of Varshan. And then when you use these, you are guaranteed to get 800 plus items. And I will walk you through this. As you see down there on the bottom right of my inventory, I have the tormented invoker of Varshan right here. So when we have one of those, all we need to do is head on down. We're going to open up our map, and then we're going to scroll on down here just to the left of the ruins of Karayisu waypoint, and then just over here you're going to see this malignant tunnel right here called the Ravening Pit. So we navigate to there, and then we're going to blast through that dungeon, only killing elites, getting to the end, and we're going to spend this tormented invoker of Varshan, and we're going to get guaranteed 800 plus items. So let's click the waypoint here to the ruins. We'll teleport there. And after heading to that waypoint, we just pony up to the northwest a little bit. Which, by the way, if you missed the news recently, Blizzard is going to be upgrading mounts, and they're going to be doing things like breaking those barriers on the map if you missed that news. So that's going to be super exciting. Mounts are about to get way better in game, and that should have always been in the game from the start, but at least that update is coming pretty soon here. So, okay, when we are in the Ravening Pit right here, all we're going to do is blast through. We're going to skip trash mobs. We're just going to go kill the elites. If there are certain hearts that you're farming, you will get malignant hearts in here. Obviously, it's a malignant tunnel. So if you're going after the like black or gray ones, then you would only stop for those. But otherwise, if there's another heart that you use, like for a necromancer, we have this super cool one right here that is going to automatically detonate corpses. If you need to back up one of that, you would kill the respective malignant hearts and all that. You can target farm while you're in here, but for this video, I'm prioritizing the yellow items, and what we want to do is just get to the end as soon as possible and then use our tormented invoker, and we will get those 800 plus items guaranteed. So right now I'm just kind of skipping on through, and I'm only going to be killing elites, or if there's a heart that I want to target farm. Right there. I don't need to worry about that. And then here we've got a boss coming up right now. And then you see right there, it dropped a malignant heart, and you can see the corresponding color. So this is where you would decide if this is something you want to pause and do, or if you're already maxed out on that color or not. And you can kind of choose as you're going through this run if you want to stop and grab these hearts on the way or not. As you see right there, boom, we got a heart on the way while farming this. And then I'm just going to kind of blaze through here. What we want to do is get to the end and kill the boss, and then we got to head to that secret room where you can put in those invokers. But yeah, I'm just going to be trying to get to the end as fast as possible so I can show you how this mechanic works. So, okay, right here, this is going to be the Malignant Corruption, and this is going to be kind of that last room in the dungeon. So we're going to clear this, and then what we can do is farm up this heart if we want, or we can head on forward to the secret room where we use our invokers. Okay, now at that point, when it says dungeon complete, don't just leave. There's going to be a couple more options you can do. So first of all, there's going to be, if you keep going, that normal room with the different options of the outgrowths right here. You see the wrathful outgrowth and the brutal outgrowth. This is where you can spend to target farm a certain heart, and you're all familiar with that mechanic. But what's special about this dungeon right here is that what you want to do is look for a door with chains on it. So I'm going to keep kind of moving forward, and it's going to be a little outcropping on the minimap that you see up there. And then right here, this is what we're looking for. This door right here with the chains on it is going to unlock a secret passage where we can now spend our tormented invoker of Varshan to get those guaranteed 800 plus item drops. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open up this door and move on in here forward. And then this is going to be where you can spend what we crafted there in town. You see this monstrous outgrowth? Well, that is where, if we have this in our consumables tab, this tormented invoker of Varshan, when I click on here, boom, now it's going to spend that. You see how on the bottom right, that tormented invoker of Varshan is gone. And now we're going to do the boss fight, and we will get that 800 guaranteed items. So if I show you my inventory, you see I don't have anything. I have no rares in my inventory or anything. Now, he does have a decent amount of HP, but it's not super scary of a fight. You just kind of burst it down here. And then I'll show you my inventory, and the items I get will be a guaranteed 800 plus power. Okay, so there we go. We got a bunch of the different items here, and this was actually a bad run. I only got these pants right here that are sacred, but when I open up my inventory, you see how I don't have anything. I grab these sacreds, and look at that. 800 item power. Now, what you can do is get together with a few friends, craft as many of these as you can, and you can do these runs in like 90 seconds. When you've got like a couple people duo farming it or whatever, you can blast through this dungeon, easy peasy, find that door, kill the boss, and you can literally farm up like 50 800 plus items per hour. And you can do all sorts of stuff with this. You can get together with somebody who plays the same class as you and then help each other with certain drops that you need. Like, hey, my pants are trash, or hey, my gloves are trash. If you find decent gloves, share them with me, because you can trade these yellows. You can drop them and share them with each other as well. So you can get together with a group of friends and really use this to target farm specifically for those 800 plus items. And remember those blues that dropped right here that I didn't pick up? If you pick these up, look at that, 800 plus item power even on the blue. So this boss fight right here with this mechanic, these items are guaranteed to be 800, whether they're blue, yellow, or sacred, or ancestral. They are gonna be that high 800 plus item power. And then at that point, when you have finished the dungeon, we're just going to open up our emote wheel and then click leave dungeon, which, by the way, this 5-second teleport is about to be reverted to 3 seconds. Blizzard did confirm in their last developer chat here, coming up in the 1.1.1 patch. I believe that's going to be happening in about 8 or 9 days. That'll be going back to 3 seconds. But it's this dungeon right here, the Ravening Pit. And like I showed you on the minimap, we're just going to go a little bit to the northwest of the ruins of Kara Isu waypoint that you see kind of right in the middle of the overall map, and it's just to the southwest of Kyovashad right here. And then you just pin that, and you're going to be heading over here to the Ravening Pit, and the dungeon entrance will look like this. So what I would recommend for you is, like I said a little bit earlier in the video, but now that you understand the mechanic and how impactful this can be, is when you're at this crafting bench, go ahead and save up enough to craft like 30, 40, 50 of these things. Keep farming up those forgotten souls and keep farming up the crafting materials you need. And then once every few days, once a week or whatever, you can get together with a couple of your friends and be able to farm literally hundreds of 800 plus rare items in game, and you'll be able to get builds going online super fast. Let's say you've got a new alt class you want to try. Like my main right here is a necromancer. Let's say I want to try a sorcerer because they're going to get buffed in the next patch. I can go ahead and save up a bunch of these materials and then farm a bunch of yellows right when I get my sorcerer online. I get my sorcerer up to level 70, 75, just getting to that world tier 4 point. I can slam these in a group and literally get hundreds of 800 plus items to get my sorcerer online and rolling, ready for the next patch. So this is definitely a farming method that you're going to want in your arsenal here for season 1. And also, one important note here about the crafting materials involved here is these Fiend Roses. You know the drill, how it works on the Diablo 4 map when you're running around and you're gathering those different plants and different materials. Well, the Fiend Rose, I believe, is a pretty special one because this is only going to be in, as far as I know, when I find them, I believe you can only get these in the Helltide zones, and you'll find these Fiend Roses growing. So if you're super low on these, if you've got like 10 or 15 of these Fiend Roses and you want to take advantage of this method, I would definitely make sure you're keeping your Forgotten Souls stocked up by doing some general farming, enough to salvage enough of the materials, and probably prioritize the upgrades in your seasonal journey to go forward with getting these salvage materials on your seasonal blessings. You can see right here, I've got a Smoldering Ash, and I can take this one right here, the Urn of Reclamation, and boost up my chances to get the rare materials from salvage, and then also make sure I'm doing 1 or 2 Helltide zones a day and clicking on all of the Fiend Roses that I see, and I'll keep a good stock of being able to get together with a group and farm up an insane amount of 800 plus yellow rare items. But also remember, it's not just the 800 plus items. You're getting all of these hearts as well that you can stop and prioritize the ones that you really want to farm up for your build and the ones that you need for your jewelry. So good luck on the grind. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace.